That's pathetic. Stand up and give yourself a round of applause for being here. Seriously, that's awesome. Amazing. By the way, how about giving Jim Dwyer a round of applause? Isn't he like the best MC in the world? Seriously? Well, I'm up here to talk about why we're in the right place at the right time, with the right company and the right people. And you need to know all four of those things. And it's interesting because there's people here that are from all walks of life and all different experience levels with MarketAmericanShop.com. Some people are brand new. This is their first event. How many people are brand new? This is your first event. Stand up in your seat. Let's recognize these people. Give them some love. First eventer. Look at this. Look at this. That's incredible. And then we have people that are over 10 years in the business. Many are $1 million club members. How many people are over 10 years in the business, doing very well with the business? Stand up if you're over 10 years in the business. Look around. This is amazing too. Look at that. $1 million club, $1 million club, $1 million club, $1 million club, multi-million dollar club. This is awesome. And then there's all types of people in between. You know? So what's powerful about today is we are going to give messages that really apply to everyone, no matter where they sit in terms of their success or their the timeline that they've been involved with MarketAmericanShop.com. We're going to talk to the guests, we're going to talk to the brand new people, and we're going to talk to people that are seasoned, that have been around a long time. We like to call you old folks seasoned. I'm a seasoned one too, I get it. I'm 24 years with this company, right? In fact, I just turned 48 not long back. That means half of my life I've dedicated to build an organization like this with you guys. I also have to note that if things happen in life, that you have to make some sacrifices to do what you need to do, right? I made a decision after I built this business and got to the $1 million club level, and I had that residual type income, that cash flow, right? To where I didn't have to work anymore for money. And I made a decision at that point in time I was never going to miss anything for any of my kids ever again. Because I had many years and I had to miss stuff for my kids. That's a price of success. All walks of life, including here. There's sacrifices that need to be made. But this weekend, my two daughters have a recital. I'm not there for it. I want you guys to know, the only reason why I'm here is because of all you guys. All you guys, that's why I'm here, because I'd be home right now, and they understand that, right? So I want you to know there's always a price to pay for success, but it's worth it, because although this small little moment in time I miss it, there's a lot of other times that we enjoy that we wouldn't have been able to if it wasn't for all of us being together here today, all right? So anyway, nonetheless, little background, thank you. I love it, it's good. But so just a quick background for those who don't know me. I've been honored now to be the regional director for 4 years, Mideast regional director. A lot of great shoes to fill. We have Andy Webb. Andy, stand up. Andy was one of our prior Mideast regional convention directors. You know, don't tell Big Al. You and Charlie were my favorites. I'm just saying. Charlie Bear, where's Charlie Bear at? Charles, stand up. Where you at, Charlie? I know he's here somewhere. Charlie Bear's another regional director. Give him a round of applause wherever he's at. I can't see him. And some of the Big Al's probably online. You can clap for Big Al. Let's clap for Big Al, too. We can clap for Big Al, too. But the reality is we have a lot of fun. So, nonetheless, let's get into it. My background, introduced at 23 years old. Didn't know what I was looking at. In fact, the only reason why I looked was because my accountant and my buddy Jay asked me to look at this, and they were great supporters of my construction business, and I didn't want them to stop giving me referrals. I had no interest in this because I thought this was a pyramid scheme. Straight up. I thought this was MLM. This is the furthest thing from MLM, right? With very few similarities. But I thought that's what this was. By the way, if you still think this is MLM, you've got to do your due diligence and research and learn what makes us different, right, Andy? In fact, you got to learn how to show the plan, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But and what makes us different, why this is radically different than everything else out there, and why we really have set ourselves apart. In fact, my dad said something really powerful one time. He said, this is not only not a part of that industry, JR created the solution to every problem that industry ever had. Does that make sense? And you have to not only be able to say that, but know it, feel it, and believe it, and then know how to explain why. So that's what I'm going to talk about here for the next 20 minutes. Is that cool? You guys ready?
Yeah.
You guys ready to do the best energy you ever gave ever an event in your life? That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So, when I saw the model, it was only to evaluate. I didn't know I was going to see, but I knew what it wasn't once I saw it. I knew how different it was. And I said to myself, man, I think I might want to try this. The only reason why I looked is I wanted them to keep the construction referrals coming, and I wanted to support them, because if you're in business and you have someone support you and you don't support them back, guess what might happen? They'll probably stop. By the way, you want to get people to pay attention, support people. If you want to get something out of any type of business relationship, you have to give to it first, right? But nonetheless, I saw how different it was, and I decided to give it a try. I was not looking for a career change. I was doing construction because I wanted to start investing in real estate to create residual income. I didn't realize you can get just as good, if not better, cash flow like that doing a business like this. I had no idea. But I decided to give this a shot simply because I saw it was different and it made too much sense not to. Right? And they did not get me to look for any other reason than because they were supporting me. If they would have asked me if I wanted to, I would have said no. If they would have asked me if I was interested in other income, I would have said what? Yes. No. In fact, in my career, 70% of the people that came into this business that I brought in, which over the last 24 years has been well over 100 people, 70% of them were not interested in the business when they saw it the first time. They weren't looking for something when they saw it the first time. And it was all about the evaluation process, which again, I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But nonetheless, I got started very, very part-time. 3 weeks after I got in, the smartest thing that happened was Norm Burkholder, rest his soul, he passed over a decade ago now, Barb, holy moly. Where's Barb at? I was looking for her hat. Where's she at? Where's Barb? Barb Burkholder, stand up in your seat. This is the godmother of our organization. Barb Burkholder, stand up. This is Barb Burkholder. Barb, we love you, Barb. She always had a cowboy hat on. That's Barb. If it wasn't for Barb, my company or team wouldn't be here, my organization wouldn't be here, because she was the biggest encourager that I had, right? Outside of my family, she was the biggest encourager I had when I was growing up in the business during the tough time. You guys all know there's always going to be what? Tough times. You guys know you have to be able to be resistant and resilient through tough times. In fact, the only reason everybody's going to get brick walls. I had a lot of brick walls after I started. I was 23. I was doing this part-time. The only reason why I kept going, because I knew that if you quit, you never know when you could have got on something. Number one. Number two, I knew that winners always have to overcome massive obstacles in anything in life. Anything in life. You have to pay a price for success, and no matter what you do. And the price a lot of times is struggle, negative people. That's in all walks of life. This business is not unique to that. But nonetheless, I decided to get going. I went to the reason why I lasted was because Barb and her encouragement, my family's encouragement, my dad in particular, but then also, I went to the biggest event of the year 3 weeks after I registered. He made sure I went. I got an international convention ticket. I showed up. He wouldn't let me register unless I had the international convention ticket, because he said he would not set me up for failure and let me get in and not get trained how to use it. He said it'd be like selling you a set of golf clubs and never even showing you how to pick them up and swing them. What's the point? You need to be educated. In fact, he said if you have to choose between getting started and registered and going to the training, go to the training first. The training is more important than the registration. So I understood it, and I went, and I saw the light, and I saw what was possible. Long story short, 2.5 years after that, I was able to, I love what Kevin DeWong said. He said I was able to donate his job to somebody else, right? I was able to fire myself and do this as a full-time career, because I not only love the business, the income potential, the possibilities, but I love the impact and the ability to touch other people's lives and change them for the better every single day when you go out and share the business. How many people like that part too? So good. And it's been a blessing ever since. I also, one of the biggest blessing of my involvement in the business is I was at a meeting and I met my wife who was there watching. And by the way, the truth of the story is she saw me and couldn't resist herself. So just remember that when you see it. Her story's a different version, but I wanted you to know the true story. It was probably opposite of that, but you know. But nonetheless, it's been awesome. But here's the thing. Today is why we're here. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. In fact, some of you are like, who cares what happened in the past? I know what you're thinking. It's fine. Right? Why is it a good time to be here right now? Why do we have a packed arena here right now? Because the timing's better than ever. The timing's better than ever. So a little back of the company. It was founded in 1992, and we're at Market America, a house of brands and an internet marketing company that's powered by entrepreneurs around the world, just like all of us, right? Over the past 3 decades, we've built an incredible brand portfolio, including the world's most advanced nutraceutical of Isotonics brand and so many more. We're headquartered in Greenport, North Carolina. We have 800 people that are employees globally and hundreds of thousands of unfranchised owners globally with operations you see all in different countries and growing here on the screen. This is just some background, 30 plus years success, 20 plus brands, thousands of partner stores, operations in 9 countries. And one of my favorite things is the Torch Award for the Better Business Bureau A+ rating. And the Torch Award, every 5 years, typically 13, 18 for marketplace ethics. It's a trust, performance, and integrity award. That doesn't happen for 99.999% of the network marketing companies out there because they are not ethical. Does that make sense? We found one that does it right. In fact, that's what JR created this for. I'll never forget a story he told me. He was talking to a guy that was running a company he was involved in before he decided to start a company. And he said, I'll never forget, he walked up to the guy and says, hey, I want to thank you because that company went out of business. And I'll never forget, this was at his place in Connecticut. He said, I told him, I said, I want to thank you. He goes, what are you thanking me for? He goes, I want to thank you for showing me the type of leader never to be to anybody I ever knew at the moment. Because you failed tens of thousands of people because you didn't have the discipline to make sure your company was run right. That's where he came from. That's why this company is thriving like it is, because of the foundation he set before he passed a year ago. So let's give JR some love right now. And that led to a company that's done over $11.5 billion in business, with more than half of it paid out to people like you and I. Guys, you get that? A company that pays over 50+% of total revenue and earnings to commissions to the people that don't even work for the company. They're out there just leading the charge and leading the field. You all want a piece of that $6 billion or what? Right? That's really what it's all about. And growing like crazy. So we're a product broker. We don't manufacture anything, so we can move it to the marketplace, and there's massive customer benefits. Thousands of partner stores on top of our exclusive brands. Access to exclusive. There's no cost to register as a customer, and every customer receives a VIP wallet and earns instant daily cash. Customers, yes, we do too, as unfranchised, but customers do that as well. When they buy, they earn cash. It's free money, and they don't have to pay a subscription to be a part of it, and they get all the benefits of our free shipping program when they hit it. But why is it our company and why now? See, we're a 32-year-old whatever company at this point in time, so why do you have some guy up here ranting? It almost sounds like a cliche, doesn't it? Oh, it's a 32-year-old company, but no time's better than ever now. Let me tell you why that's absolutely fact. Why it's so true. Why my experience, I've been around a while. Since the last day of January to now, I have personally sponsored 11 new people. Now, my warm market knows what I do. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying to brag, I'm just telling you, that's while I'm running an event, 3 kids at home, running all the other things in life. People are looking for this more than ever before because disruption creates massive opportunity. Are we not in a disruptive time? Yes. You have to know how to talk about this because people understand life's all about timing. I am driving our camera girl crazy. Sorry for walking back and forth so much. These things that you don't think about until like you're part of like running stuff like that. But anyway, life's all about timing. This is the world we live in, guys. Learn these talking points. You need to talk educated about why people are looking right now. They might have zero. See, you might be here like my buddy Nick. By the way, this is my buddy Nick here. We played college baseball together. It only took me 24 years to get him to join me in business. Nick, say hi to everybody. This is Nick. 24 years. He's a little slow. No, I'm kidding. I was slow. I never approached him. It was my fault. By the way, it doesn't matter, right? We've been best buddies forever. He's the one who got me cold plunging, by the way. It's his fault right there. So you're welcome to beat people on the beach this morning. But anyway, we're in a rapidly changing world. Rising costs of living. Anybody go to the grocery store and feel like you needed to take a home equity loan? just to pay for it. I don't know how people are doing it. On top of that, interest rates are like climbing up. They're more than double they were 3 years ago. Double. People are getting 3%. It's over 7 now. Are jobs giving people increases of wages 20 to 25% per year to keep up with this? Anybody have a job that says, let me give you a 20 to 25% raise just so you can maintain your standard of living? One person. I want to know who you work for. That's awesome. But hopefully it happens for somebody. But that's what it is. Do you know in the last it's 24 months now, the last 24 months, you have to make 40% more income in the last 24 months than you made 24 months ago? Not to go ahead in life, to maintain the standard of living you had 24 months ago. So if you were making $100,000 a year 2 years ago, you'd have to make it $140,000 today to not go backwards in your lifestyle. This is not to get ahead. Do you guys understand? Now, and jobs are not giving you raises at 20% plus per year. In fact, they're getting pinched just as bad as consumers are. And that's creating the biggest entrepreneurial vacuum I think this country has ever seen. I just heard a statistic. Listen to this closely. You guys want to know why you're at the tip of the spear here? I just heard a statistic that said in the next 10 years, 50% of Americans are going to be entrepreneurs. Yes. Let me repeat that. In the next 10 years, 50% of Americans are going to end up being entrepreneurs because they realize that's the only chance to maintain and keep up, because they can't do what people did for decades. Just get second jobs, right, Jimmy, and third jobs and fourth jobs. They need to what? They need to create a way to create leverage, something like a business that can outpace the rate of inflation. In fact, when you have a business set up properly, you become more successful with inflation. Do you guys know that? You get more successful with inflation, cost of living increases because your business reciprocates on it. That's what entrepreneurship's all about. And also, entrepreneurs are the answer. Entrepreneurs are the people who solve the problems when there's problems in the economy. Why are we growing faster than ever before? Those who are out actually doing it right, meeting people. Right? Why is this happening? That you're really doing the work right. Why is it? Because people are looking and they're responsive and they don't have any other answers. We have the answer here for people, and that's what's going on. So it's the entrepreneurial revolution. Information is readily available, and they know the ones who are winning big are the ones who are successful. They're the ones who are entrepreneurs. You hear a lot of people struggling, but then what are these small percentage of people doing differently that are thriving more than ever before? They're becoming entrepreneurs. They're not just working for a paycheck. Doesn't mean you have to give up a paycheck. The beautiful thing of our business is what? Leverage. You can keep your job to pay your bills, but create your entrepreneur journey, right? 9 to 5 to pay your bills, you're 5 to 9 to create a legacy. How many people like that thought? You're 5 to 9 to create freedom, okay? And that's that statistic I told you. And here's another thing, network marketing. I know network marketing for decades was taboo, wasn't it? Multi-level marketing, pyramid. Let me tell you something, it's no longer really taboo. Now, we just so happen to have a compensation plan that's so radically different, I don't even put us in a category. I call this, as JR used to call, we are a category of one. A category of one. Nothing in the world is like what we do. Nothing else compensates that we do. Nothing. This is the by far, I mean, it's not even close, a landslide from a compensation plan standpoint, the absolute best, most reasonable, long-term available income generating model in the network marketing industry, bar none. Nobody can even debate that, right? Because of how we work, and I'll share that with you in a second. But I just want to show you what the industry of network marketing does right now. Although a lot of them are very, very difficult to make money at. Do you know that the entire industry that we're the leader in, they pay out $200 million per day in earnings. $200 million per day in earnings. Wow. Anybody want a little sliver of that? Sure. That's why we're here. We're the leader in that organization. We have the best thing out there. And what makes us different? Why is it the right place and the right time, on top of all the reasons why people are looking? And they're willing to work. By the way, during COVID, people got a little taste of working for themselves. Then all of a sudden, they were going to be working from home. But what are all companies forcing people to do now that they realized that production at home was good until the world opened back up and then nobody wanted to pay attention anymore? They're forcing people to go back to work. And who doesn't? Most people want to what? They got comfortable with being comfortable. And they don't want to go back to work. So now they're looking for a way to work from home. And that opens up a massive opportunity for you. You have something that people are desperately looking for because they don't want to go back to the 5-day-a-week hustle and grind going up and down I-95. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Or going around the Beltway. Y'all know what I'm saying? Or trying to go over the GW Bridge. Right? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Any of these things every day just to go to work. They want to be able to work from home. So we have a compensation that allows people to do it. Now, when I say work from home, that's a home-based business, not a home-sitting business. Your business is based from home, but a lot of your work can be out of your home. You guys got that? Can you write that down in your notes? It's a home-based business, but you don't do all your work from home. You have to go out and meet people. The world is open again. What's going to make you different? Your ability to go out and connect with people. I'm already talking about what I'm talking about tomorrow. But listen, I want you guys to make it. This is an opportunity. You can listen. Here's the deal. You're either going to sit and watch. You're either going to get a part of this, go all in. This business is like a river. You can either jump in and see how far it takes you, or sit on the sidelines and watch it, and sit on the bench and watch it go by you. Now, there's going to be people in here that are going to do one or the other. You're going to either sit on the sidelines, sit on the bench, and just watch it rush by, and see the people win, or you're going to jump in and see how far it takes you, not really know where you're going to end up. I want you to go in 2 feet, all in. Don't just dip your toe in it and be like, oh, that's cold. You know what I mean? Like, dive on in and make it happen for yourself if that's where you are, okay? But why is it worth it, this management compensation plan, right? What we're not is this. You need to know how to talk about this. Horizontal marketing is what people assume we are. Now, the number one thing is you need to know how to talk to this and explain this to yourself. We're not horizontal marketing. Horizontal marketing are organizational structures, for example, like real estate agencies, insurance companies, chain stores, franchises, and yes, the multi-level marketing industry. They are horizontal marketing models. They're designed like this, where people at the top make the lion's share of the money, but then as business is generated, it gets percentages that get smaller and smaller and smaller. And they build these wide teams where as it gets deeper, they get smaller percentages, but more people are competing with each other. So the person at the top always gets the biggest percentage. Does that make sense? Well, these people fall under. This is your real estate brokers at the top. Then you have your agents. One agent sells a house, the other ones don't make money. They're competing with each other, although they work for the same agency with the same fancy polo shirt. How many people know what I'm saying? Same thing in network marketing, MLM. Same thing in insurance. You have your broker, your agents, and so on and so forth, right? All these different things create a ton of competition. There's percentages and levels from the top down. The people at the top make all the money, and the people at the bottom get stuck holding the ball. Or holding the burden, making a fraction, fighting for scraps, picking up the crumbs. What JR created, and that's the reason why they fail, what JR created was something that's a solution to all those problems called the vertical marketing model. And it's the organizational structure that provides an economic synergy. Everybody comes into business, they get stacked in verticals, and they are working together with each other. And the volume doesn't pay from the top down and percentage levels. Listen to this. It pays 100% credit from the bottom to the top. Everybody in the model gets compensated from the bottom to the top, right? The volume doesn't give you time frames. It accumulates to get paid. Anything else I've ever seen out there, if you want to make bonuses right, you have to do it every 30 days. And if you don't hit the bonus in 30 days, what are you going to do with your volume, Johnny? They take it back away from you and you get sacrificed so the guys at the top make all the money. Here it accumulates until you get paid, right? You can place people in volume at the bottom. You're actually working with the newest people and everybody wins because of it. Do you know that if you come into business and you're 1 day, 1 year, 10 years, or 20 years after I start, I'm going to tell you every single trick, technique, strategy I've learned in my 24 years. Why? Because 100% flows up. 100% flows up. And I'm not going to hold any. See, most businesses, they keep the secret for themselves because they make 100% what they do, but 20% off what you do. So they're going to keep the most important secrets for themselves. Here, we share them all. Isn't that right, Chevy? Wasn't Chevy awesome last night, by the way? I mean, I can't say everybody was phenomenal last night, by the way, but it was awesome. And then you have free entry. So all this volume credits from the bottom to the top. Everybody works together, and that volume creates synergy, and you have a bunch of people that are working together, and they all have different reasons for being here. They all have different purposes, but everybody has a common bond. They want to create more volume and more impact. Does that make sense? We want to create more volume and more impact. You want to get more volume, create more impact. If you want to create more money, help more people. Don't focus on money and volume. Focus on impact, right? And some skills to help people get better. You help people do that, your income automatically follows. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. And here's some of our competitive advantages. Proven track record of success. I mean, we don't have to prove anything. 32 years, billions of dollars paid out, tens of billions earned, consecutive quarters of growth, profitability, over $6 billion earned. And we have the product brokerage system where we don't get, I've seen companies come and go because a product nobody wanted anymore. Our business is a broker, Dr. Kevin, so what happens is when somebody has a product and they really, really want it, we can bring it on. But then when science changes, those companies that manufacture this product could go out of business, but we're the broker. We move on to the better product. We have over 100 contributing manufacturers, and we always stay on the cutting edge of the best science-based wellness or whatever the product or service is that you can have. And you can clap for that, because that's a massive advantage here. Because I've seen companies build big businesses that went away because nobody wanted their product anymore. And the last thing is we have a GMTSS support system, but this is a part of it. We have a support system, but here's the thing. That GMTSS supports you as long as you support it. Let me repeat that. The GMTSS system, Andy Webb, right? It only works if we work it. One of the most powerful things we have is a system of training that a bunch of people that all have different economic interests, me and Andy Webb are connected financially in the plan, but we're connected because doing things like this makes us all be able to win together, because events create the ultimate leverage, the ultimate ability. I want you to think, if you had 1,000 people, it's like this to say, what was your name right here? Crystal. This is Crystal right here, and Crystal had all 1,000 people in this room and her team. And we did 7 hours of training today or whatever it is. Crystal gets $7,000 worth of work done, or 7,000 hours worth of work done. Do you see why it's so important to have people at events like this? How many people want 7,000 hours of work done today? How many people want $7,000 worth of work done today? Next year, keep working and work with your team and fill this thing up and own the room. Then you have all the leverage in the world. That's why your income will grow. Let other people do the work and train your people for you, right? That's what our GMTSS is all. I'm just telling you what's going to happen, right? I don't know when this is going to happen, but I think in this next 5 to 10 years, some massive changes and shifts are going to happen because we are making it happen. Me and Drayton and a lot of other leaders, Elizabeth Webb, we've been spending some time with Mark and Lauren and the corporate team on some Zooms, just really giving them some ideas on some, and they're coming up with some phenomenal stuff on their own, but we're collaborating really heavily. And I'm telling you, it's my opinion, we're going to be in the likes of companies just like this. And I'm not saying this to hype you up. If I didn't think it, I wouldn't put it up here. I really do. I really wholeheartedly believe this is going to happen. Uber became the largest taxi provider without owning any vehicles. Facebook became the world's largest publisher, creating no content. Airbnb became the world's largest lodging accommodations provider, providing no real estate, but Shop.com is going to be the first model that takes our influence and pay us for their influence instead of mass media marketing. And all that revenue is going to go to our pockets instead of marketing. How many people want to little piece of that, right? So that's that. I'm going to wrap up with doing this. You're all here for a reason. You're all here for a reason. And you're here because you want something more out of life. I don't know what it is. You might only want an extra $300 a month. And by the way, we love you the same. We just want to meet you where you're at. You might want to be like me and be able to make an impact and do the $1 million per year thing, or whatever it might be, or whatever. Everybody has a different reason. But the one thing is, whatever you want out of this business, I'm going to wrap with this. The most important thing is to commit to it. See, you have to consider between a half commitment and a full commitment. A total or full commitment is what it takes to be free, to do what you want to do in anything in life. But a half commitment, all that does is keep you imprisoned in mediocrity. Because guess what? You won't know when you're not giving it your all. It doesn't have to be 50 hours a week. It might be 10 hours a week. But when you give it 10 hours, give it the all-out 10 hours you can do. And you literally can change your life and the people around you forever. Guys, it's going to be an incredible weekend. God bless you all. Make it the greatest weekend. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.